Hello and welcome. My name is Nkechi Njaka, and I'm a neuroscientist, a mindfulness meditation guide, and I'm also an artist. It is my pleasure and honor to be with you here today to guide you through a 20-minute mindfulness meditation. This practice will be focused on breath, and no worries if this is your first time in a meditation or mindfulness practice, as I will be guiding you through. And the principles are the same whether this is your first sit or your 100th sit. The idea is to be present with the breath. So, a couple things before we get started. I think it's important to just provide you with my definition of mindfulness. So, mindfulness really is the practice of being in the moment. So, being in this moment, and as the moment continues, we stay with the moment. Of course, we are human beings with very active brains and minds, with lots of thinking about the past, thinking about the future. And our practice, no matter our skill or experience or level with sitting, is to notice when that happens and to come back to this moment. And so I'll be cueing us through this practice to remind us to come back. And the way that we are going to work with the present moment in this practice is by anchoring and grounding with the breath. Taking a moment to just arrive to your practice, I invite you to find a comfortable way to be in your space. Whatever comfort means to you in this moment is perfectly fine. Really choose a posture that honors your body. So if you need back support because you have lower back pain, find a chair or a wall to sit against. If you need to lay down for this practice, by all means, find a comfortable way to be laying down. If you want to have your feet planted firmly on the earth, I invite you to come to the edge of your seat. If you're comfortable tucking the legs underneath, you are more than welcome to sit however you feel most comfortable. Now that you have found a comfortable way to be, I invite you to close your eyes if that is a part of your practice. Closing the eyes is an opportunity for us to go inward. If closing your eyes doesn't feel the safest or most comfortable, depending on your environment or where you are at in your practice, that's totally fine. You can lower the gaze by just simply lowering the head to bring the gaze in towards the chest or towards the earth. And so we will begin our practice, taking a moment to really arrive here. And we'll begin this practice by taking 3 breaths together. So we'll draw our breath in, and we'll exhale our breath out. And again, we'll draw our breath in, and we'll exhale our breath out. And one more time, breath in and breath out. Arriving here to your practice, and taking a moment to appreciate the transition to this time that we have with ourselves. So whether the eyes are closed or the gaze is lowered, we might notice this as a transition to go inward. So much of our waking day is spent with our attention outward. We're fixated on the things we must do, the people and events that we must attend to. And our practice is a really intentional time to go inward and attend to ourself. So this practice is for you. And we'll do a quick check-in, a scan of the body, drawing a breath in, bringing awareness to the top of the head. And here we'll check in with how is the mind doing? And so whatever you notice, busy, compressed, open, spacious, whatever you notice that comes up with that question, how is the mind doing, is a perfect response. And then letting that go and finding your next inhale. And this time, bringing attention to the center of the body, asking how is the heart doing, exhaling. And so whatever you notice here, maybe there is some sensitivity, some tightness. Maybe there's openness, warmth. So again, just allowing whatever's present to be here. And then letting that go. And then finding your breath again. And bringing the scan over the whole body. How is the body doing? And exhaling. You might feel soreness, tiredness, hunger, energy. Whatever's present, just allowing that to be here. And being okay with what is here. So in our practice with mindfulness, with this moment, we're doing our very best not to judge what is present. In fact, we're suspending our judgment and we're really holding presence with the lens of curiosity, the lens of wonder, the lens of awe, lens of compassion, loving kindness. Which really changes our perspective. Drawing a breath in and bringing awareness to sensation in the body. We'll take a moment to just notice where we're making contact with our chair or cushion, the earth, maybe the wall. Maybe if your hands are clasped, there's skin to skin contact. And so we have a sense of where we are in space. Noticing what you notice and allowing that to be here. And so with this theme of sensation, we'll begin to work with the breath. So I invite you to find where you feel the breath most present in the body. So that feeling, that felt sense is the sensation of the breath, of air moving through you. So you might feel this in the nose, you might feel this in the mouth. You might feel this in the chest or the diaphragm, the ribs, the lungs, or the belly. And so just following the rise and fall of the breath as it's moving through you. And any time the mind wanders away from this moment, gently, lovingly return back to the breath. It is the breath that will ground us. It is the breath that will anchor us. Anytime we've left the present moment, we always can come back to the breath. Finding the inhale, finding the exhale, riding this beautiful wave that ebbs and flows and that is renewable. And as we stay with our breath, deepening our awareness of the breath, we might begin to evaluate the breath. So examining, observing, noticing the quality of the breath. Does the breath feel easy? Or perhaps the breath is labored, effortful. Maybe the breath is spacious, subtle. Maybe you notice that the inhale is longer than the exhale. Maybe we notice that the exhale is longer than the inhale. Maybe we notice the temperature of air as it travels into the body. And maybe we notice air as it exits the body. Maybe we notice that air is not necessarily moving in one direction. Maybe we notice that the breath expands both side to side, up and down, in and out, front to back. So noticing what you notice and allowing that to be here, allowing that to be a part of your practice. And remembering that anytime the mind wanders away from this present moment, you always, always, always have the option to come back. So when you notice the mind has left the present moment, I invite you to gently, lovingly return to the breath that anchors us and grounds us in this moment. So we'll deepen our work with the breath by simply extending the breath. So we're going to elongate the breath, which really just means stretching out the inhale and stretching out the exhale. So we'll take a slower breath as we inhale. Maybe this is a deeper breath as well. filling up the lungs, and then slowly exhaling, taking our time. There's a little bit of effort, a little bit of control required for slowing down the breath. We'll do a couple more cycles of this, inhaling slowly. Exhaling slowly. And again, inhaling slowly. And exhaling slowly. And so the next thing that we will do to deepen our work with the breath is a really simple boxed breath exercise. And we'll do 3 cycles of this. So what it is we'll exhale our breath out. So we'll empty out the breath. We'll inhale for 5. We'll hold for 2. We'll exhale for 5. And we'll hold for 2. I will be guiding us through this by counting. So no need to keep track. And we'll do 3 cycles of boxed breathing. So emptying out the breath. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold for 2. Exhaling 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 2. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold for 2. Exhaling 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 2. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold for 2. Exhaling 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 2. And then releasing the hold that you have on the breath, returning to the natural cadence of your breathing. And taking a moment to just notice, if anything, what has shifted. The beautiful thing about our breath is that it reminds us of being alive. It reminds us that we are here now, and it reminds us that we always can come back. There's always another moment. There's always a place to reset, to reroute, to start over. The work that we do with our breath supports our parasympathetic nervous system. So we're effectively slowing down, re-regulating, and setting ourselves up to respond rather than to react. And I want to just remind us that we have these tools. We have this ability to return to our breath and to find presence, both here in this practice and outside of this practice. And so I invite you to take this with you. We'll close our practice the same way we started, by taking 3 breaths together. So inhaling in through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. And again, inhaling in, exhaling out. And one more time, inhaling in, and exhaling out. And so whenever you're ready, you may begin to wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers, and gently start introducing subtle movement back into the body. And then whenever you're ready, you may slowly begin to flutter the eyes open, taking your time to return to the space that you are in. Thank you so much for your time, for your practice, and for your presence. As I shared before, it's always such a pleasure and honor to be here with you. My name is Nkechi, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.